Said someone, not her, not me. Someone said that at some point. Okay, we have another story. Please welcome Brooke Billingsley Kinzer. Right? Something like that. All right, give her your undivided attention, Jordan. Looking at you.
Lisa asked me to share a story. So I was married to Jeff's only brother, Kevin, for 36 years, who passed away in 2019. And he looked up to his brother a lot. And he always admired his athletic ability. And Kevin played a lot of sports. And I'll never forget one time Lisa said to Kevin, we were all together at a family gathering, and she said, "Oh, Kevin, you played sports too?" He was so wounded by that. He's like, "Oh my gosh, you didn't know I played sports." But Jeff always did everything to the fullest extent. Like, he didn't just cook, he had to be a chef. And he had to do it to the fullest extent. So I remember one time at our house in Grand Haven, he and his brother were going to cook a gourmet meal for Grandma Rachel, Muriel, and Jerry, and they were in the kitchen, and they had this full menu that they were cooking, and they didn't want any of us women in the kitchen, they just wanted to cook themselves. And they carried off the entree fabulously, and we were all sitting there, and they had a special surprise for dessert. And dessert was going to be flaming crepe Suzette. And they couldn't get the brandy to flame, possibly because they were drinking the brandy as they were making the crepe Suzette. And I remember that they were laughing in the kitchen and getting drunker and drunker. And finally I remember Grandma Rachel saying, "Oh, for crying out loud, just bring out the crepes, we don't need the flames." And so that's my funny memory of Jeff and Kevin together. They shared music. One was an artist and the other one just liked records. But they loved talking to each other about sports and music. And Jeff and Kevin were, very good friends as well as brothers. And Kevin always looked up to his big brother. And so I hope that they're together now, looking out for each other.
Do you know the story about Uncle Kevin running a card game? No? They had a party once when you were gone. I don't know if you know this. Statute of limitations is run out, but Dad had a party. It was his party, so don't blame Kevin. And he was worried that Uncle Kevin was going to snitch, because apparently he was the snitcher. Snitches get stitches, Jordan. So instead of snitching, Dad tells a story where he wanders up into one of the bedrooms and Kevin's taking people's money, sitting around on a bed playing poker, just running people. So he threatened Kevin, told him not to snitch. Kevin was kind of messing with him, said, I'm gonna tell. And he ended up just winning, I don't know how much money, but running a card game at your house while you were gone. What kind of show are you running? Hey, do you remember when we came to Indianapolis was it around Christmas? Megan, where's Megan? Do you remember the ride down to Indianapolis?
What was that? United? Was it United?
So,
Or was it?
how did that one go? We were doing a crossword puzzle in the car, and Megan was reading the clues. And what was the clue, Megan?
Blank.
Untied we stand. We could not figure out what the word was supposed to be for like 3 hours. Untied we stand. Is it loose? Is it unraveled? We could not figure this out. So finally, I don't know if we were stopped. We were stopped somewhere or something, but Dad grabbed the book and was like, "It's united!" Throws the book down. That was the end of the crossword puzzle. Okay, John. Where's John? Did you run outside? John's going to lead us in a prayer. Are you ready?